Okay guys, I got this crazy idea. I have a 1970s John Deere 420 in there with a cab about 2 summers ago. And I was like, hey, it'd be cool if we get Autosteer in this, we get an MTG in it, and we get it connected to John Deere Op Center, just like my 8R over there or the John Deere 8110. So this tractor's all ready to go if we want to run Autosteer and document with this tractor. Got a buddy, Travis, coming out to kind of help us install it. Okay, so Spencer and Travis are working. We got an ATU 300, and then we're gonna custom weld like a little mount for a John Deere 6000 Globe up there, and then I'll move one of my displays in here. But Travis, explain what we got going on here.
So yeah, what we're gonna be installing is an ATU 300. We have already pulled the steering wheel off, and we're gonna use a generic anti-rotation device that we're gonna be able to clamp this around this tube. But one thing interesting with the 4020 that we gotta be careful about is you can't over tighten it, because this tube also runs your throttle. You got a little bit of figuring out to do on there, but everything looks like it should line up well.
All right, so here's what it's looking like as we are kind of fitting everything up. So either you have this down here, it's gonna hit your knees, or you have it up above. We're gonna put it up above. It just blocks your tack, which isn't a big deal to me at all. You drive this baby by feel anyway. So the next is where we're gonna put our monitor. So we could put it here. We could have it swing out. I haven't decided on that yet. And then we gotta put the bracket to mount the globe up, which I'll do that right now. So this just super simple. Take the old steering wheel off, new one goes on, just like all the newer tractors. And then we'll probably have an auto steer button is on the side. We'll probably have like a rocker switch somewhere. All right, this is what our mounting bracket looks like. So the globe sits on here. It's just a little quick release. This will be bolted to the cab, and I'll leave this on 99% of the time. Here's an update. We got the globe on, got the mount bolted on there, so it's just a quick disconnect if we need it. Plugged in, wires are running down the frame post. There's a nice big hole to get underneath. We're getting connected to the batteries. Yeah, that's what it's looking like. All right, we're getting along here. All the wires are in. We had this off to hook up a few wires. We're gonna drill 2 holes there. Bracket goes here, and yeah, monitor will be somewhere like right here.
Shoulder's a little tight there.
There we go. Key's on, it's powering up. This is starting to get serious here.
Oh gosh, guys. So I went and grabbed a adapter harness real quick for this, like an hour away. On my way back, I seen this cell coming on the radar. I was like, it's right in my route. I was like, I could probably avoid it, take some gravel roads. I was like, screw it. We're going through it, and I got caught in the worst, probably the worst hailstorm I've ever been in. But I just got, the truck got smoked, and there's a bunch of dents. There's a bunch of dents in it, and truck got smoked. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But there's a bunch of small hail dents in there. But I got this truck in August. It's got like 28,000 miles on it. If that's the worst luck God's gonna throw at me, I'm okay with it. I'll take it.
All right, we're gonna calibrate this now.
Just going through and doing a dummy setup on the spacing, so we do some testing. Just verifying that we're doing a shutdown on it now. So remember I said we got to trigger it to shut it down correctly. So it's doing it save, and I'm going to reboot it now that we have the steering controller hooked up. Okay guys, we should be ready to start it.
Okay.
Yeah, the foot throttle.
Oh, that's normal?
That foot, yeah, you're good. Yep.
Okay, I'm like, oh shoot, man.
Okay, so now Travis is calibrating the TCM. So he's gonna stop here, drive in a circle, stop backwards where he started, and then it should calibrate. And then on the ATU 300, he's gotta run a big calibration to kind of dial in the steering wheel. There's an auto cal mode on there, so he's gonna do that also.
All right, we got it. It's calibrated, ready to go. Got our measurements in, and we'll see if it works. Globe is on. We're getting a little bit of a rain right now.
Got auto steer going. We're tracking. There we go.
So he's off his track. He's gonna get back on his line. So there we go. The tractor just drove itself, went to the right, got on the line. he wasn't off that much. All right, we're off by 3 feet. Hit the button. There we go, we're driving.
It's now 2 weeks later since the last clip we recorded. We are done planting. We weren't able to finish this project yet, but I'll give you guys a run through. Everything is done and it's ready to go. Besides, it needs an MTG that will connect it to John Deere Op Center so the data automatically records. Travis is showing up soon. He's gonna come. We're gonna finish putting that in. I gotta pull the monitor off the 8R quick, throw it in here. Okay, so plans with this tractor. We didn't end up using it for planting. It was just kind of a dream idea to maybe plant with it. Spencer's got a John Deere 7006 row that he bought but isn't fully ready to go. But right now it's set out wide and set up for hay. I kind of need a tractor. It'd be nice to have a tractor around to top dress urea with. And I was like, man, this would be perfect. But what we gotta do to top dress urea is we gotta pull these into a row crop stance so we can go down the corn rows with it. Because we top dress and we spray post at the same time. And so it'd be nice to have 2 tractors run in the field as we do that instead of using the 8110 for both. So we may do that, but Spencer also needs his tractor for hay right now because he just bought a new mower and he's got to cut hay with it. I may just have Spencer run it for hay. He can run an Autosteer when he's cutting hay or something like that.
So Travis just got here with some more parts. This is our modem, or MTG. This is essentially the cell phone for the tractor. So as we're recording data, it'll be uploading it onto our John Deere Op Center. Here's some more connectors, adapters to get everything connected, some manuals, and a couple more parts and wiring. So we're gonna get this installed here.
So you're not too far from it. There you go.
And how will this mount?
It's done by bolts. We could probably zip tie it on, or
Okay.
if we had some self-adhesive Velcro.
So now the main thing is just cable management and
Yep, just make sure we don't hit it, get it tight. We don't want it to get caught in the brakes. Does that work?
yeah, I think so.
Peel and stick right there.
How fast can you plant?
Now comes.
Yeah, what else is to plug in?
Yeah, we can plug these back in.
All right, so we just power on. That sends power to the monitor, and then we're gonna see if the MTG pulls up and get connected to Op Center here. All our wiring's in. Modem just sticks on here, zip tied, and we'll clean up the cables when everything is correct. All right, we got everything connected in there, sorted, and we had to wait for the modem to connect to John Deere Op Center. So then we added the 4020, and you can see the green check mark down there. John Deere Link connectivity is activated, and we should be good to go.
I want to run you guys through Op Center, how we use it, what we use. We have John Deere Link connected to these. They're connected to MTGs, so all of our information uploads to John Deere Op Center. So this is the second bean farm we planned. We planned this March 31st. Here's our first path of beans on March 30th. Planted about 145,000. What's kind of see is I can see all the replant spots. So theoretically, like here's where I replanted about 16 acres of beans on May 13th. And basically this shows kind of like a lot of the wet spots on this farm. All of this is very heavy soil back here. And so it's kind of nice to see like these are the spots we could add tile throughout the farm. If we go back to on this field, if we go back to 2025, here's all of our corn plot data with all of our different hybrids across here. And then here's our yield map of this farm here. So even if we go to soil type, Harps Clay Loam, this is my weakest soil on this farm. And then what's kind of interesting, if we go to the replant, all of the replant is in that wet Harps soil. For example, this field, this was rolled with the A320R. It took an hour, 37 minutes to roll. Speed, average speed, 7.8 miles per hour. And then we're using, on average, 0.1 gallon per acre. So it's kind of nice to get your fuel, all sorts of things off here.
This is a pretty handy funnel that Grant got. See, that's a pretty handy funnel there. All right, so now we got the mower back. I forgot to put this shield on when we connected this shaft, so I just gotta get it off from there. It'll take a minute, slide it back on. Gonna check some things over because tomorrow we will be using it. Getting hooked up to the 4020. All right, I'm gonna give it a quick test run, make sure everything works good. I'll put these hoses in a better spot once get it all set up. I just want to see where we're at. Maybe I'll change the pin on the cylinder. All right, I got all the adjustments made that I can make in the shop, and so we are ready to go. Topped off oil in the cutter bar. There's 2 sight glasses on the side. Just the whole entire cutter bar has oil, so both side glasses, it's about in the middle. Got the hoses up and out of the way. Got my cover back on, and we should be good to go. So I will be mowing with this tomorrow. All the other adjustments we'll make in the field. These springs are set so the cutter bar I could lift up. This is how we make our adjustment on the windrow. I did measure the actual cutter bar. It's actually like 9 feet, like 10 inches. All right, we're getting it fueled up here. Did all my measurements on the monitor to offset how much it offsets, so we should be good. We're a couple miles away from the field, so we're gonna top it off with diesel here. I had a little collar. I didn't have a right size hitch pin. I have short ones, but this is a pretty big gap to keep that off the ground because I don't want it catching on the windrow. All right, we got all of our settings in. We got the 40/20 selected, 926 Moco, everything. Alfalfa's our crop. I set the offset here, reset our counter, and then we have all of our ends set from when we planted this field of corn in 2023. Then we seeded it to alfalfa, so I haven't used Autosteer or these boundaries in three years. See how this goes. It's gonna be hard to hear me, obviously, but we are mowing and I'm not steering. Coming back here to see how we're doing. As you can tell, the ground's pretty wet, so it's good we're making narrow windrows here. It's actually nice having the Autosteer monitor because I fly the drone while I'm mowing, I record while I'm mowing, I'm looking out for fawns while I'm mowing. It is nice having Autosteer in this just because I can worry about other stuff. We got done with that one and we're moving over to this 10-acre field. Switch fields. Here's our outline. Then we are gonna go on the east side. So everything's worked really good. We just, thick, wet crop conditions is what we have. Everything's been working really good. We've made 5 or 6 passes around this field. And yeah, we got Autosteer set up now. We're going right down that windrow perfectly. We are maximizing the cutting bar to the inch. It's barely just getting this, but Autosteer 40/20 Moco, it's pretty dang nice.
Throughout this summer, we'll show off more of Op Center. stuff like that. Some operations, some of you guys probably use it a ton. Some of you guys maybe don't know what Op Center is. It's pretty much the go-to data manager. What's kind of interesting, guys, is the 4020 here. It's parked at the farm currently. With the MTG and everything, we can see the hours of operation. So on the 25th, it ran 2 hours, 47 minutes. You can see location, mile per hour as he was going in the 4020. You can see the working, the transport, the idle of it. But kind of cool to see all this. And then even as Spencer's cutting hay, I could literally remote access into his display and watch as he's cutting. Okay, guys, thanks for watching the video. We plan to use Autosteer this summer. I know Spencer's going to use it for hay. I'd like to get it on the spreading urea and AMS for top dress pass, but we'll see. Anyways, thanks Travis for coming out and helping us install all that and stuff. And so we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.